Hey, how you going? Today we're making a beastie as hell bloody lasagna. First things first, you want to get your oven on 200 degrees. So
2,000 years later.
Sweet, we got there. Today's ingredients for today's cook, we got mozzarella cheese, celery, cloves, olive oil, pork mince, beef mince, thyme, oregano, unsalted butter, parsley, basil, onion, garlic, carrot, parmesan, and of course we got our lasagna sheets. So I'm using fresh today, and it's going to be a lot better, and it's going to cook a lot quicker. And of course, the piece de resistance, JD. Alright, we're going to get our pot on now, on the stove, and we're going to chuck this on the highest heat setting that we can. And then we're going to add in our olive oil as well. So it's probably about 20 mil. Okay, so basically we're heating up our pot now. I'm sure this is probably going to take a while to heat up, but we're going to let our oil smoke, let our pot smoke. So probably only, I'd say 3. So make sure you wash it all, so it's all dirty. Alright, so we wanna fine slice our celery. And we're probably just gonna sort of chop it up a bit finer as well. Onion. Now you've all seen me cut a fucking onion.
Garlic.
So we only want about 3 cloves, maybe even 2. So we'll just rip those bad boys out of there. Just top and tail them, like so. And we're just gonna fine dice the garlic. Right, so we've finally diced our garlic. So we'll add that onto the pile. Now we're gonna go on to our carrot top or tail, top and tail. Proceed to cut it about 2 to 3 millimeters thick. Grab about 3-4 pieces at a time. Turn it sideways. And then fine dice it. And we're going to do that for the whole carrot. Alright, so I've fine diced my carrots, I've diced my onion, I've sliced my celery. So we're going to move on to our herbs. So we got thyme, we got oregano, so your parsley and your basil. Those are usually reserved for the last 20 minutes. If not, use your residual heat to cook them off. Our pot is smoking, so we're going to add in our meat. Alright, so we're using a whisk purely for the reason being that it's going to break down your meat and it's going to break it apart a lot quicker. Bit of salt, bit of pepper. Add that into the meat, give it a bit of flavour to soak up. Alright, so it's been about 2 minutes. So the beef's looking pretty brown. It's cooked off. There's a lot of water content in it, so unfortunately it's more boiled than fried like I wanted it. But we're gonna empty that out on the side, and we're gonna reheat the pan for our vegetables. A bit more olive oil, just to fry off those veggies. Alrighty, so when we add our veggies in, we're gonna cook them out for about 4 minutes. So our veg, nice and sauteed.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in our beef and our pork, and we're going to put that back on the heat. We're going to add in the crushed tomatoes now. So I gave you the job to open the tin. So do you have the crushed tomatoes? Straight in. So what you want to do is you want to add in a bit of water. Yeah, it's more just gonna stop everything from sticking to the bottom of the pot. All right, so we're moving on to our bechamel sauce. So we got our ragu. It's on the stove.
This one.
First things first, add in your cow juice, onion. So you just want to take the skin off it, and then those cloves that I had earlier. 2 of these bad boys. So just shove them into your onion, penetrate your onion into the milk, and we're gonna get this on thy stove.
And we're gonna turn this up to 9 because it doesn't go to 10.
So make sure you give your ragu a nice stir, probably every five minutes. The Steve-O adventures. All right. So unlike cricket, there's nothing off the bat with a tad overcooked. We're gonna get our fry pan heating up. Second part to our bechamel sauce is elboot and plain flour. Yeah. We want 30 grams. Let's see how this goes. 30 grams. Way off. That'll work. And the equivalent of plain flour.
That's not 30 grams. Yay!
You always want more butter than you do flour. So the milk is pretty much starting to boil right now. So we're gonna take that off the heat. Add your butter, move it around, and wait for it to melt completely before adding in your flour. So our butter's pretty much about to burn, as you can see because it's all foamy. Add in your flour there. Mix in your flour. Probably best to take it off the heat while you're doing so. And judging by how thick it actually is, I'd say those scales are off.
My scales don't work.
So basically, you just want to cook it out for about a minute or 2, nothing major, and definitely not on high heat, on a lower setting. And what we want to do now is strain out our milk. Adding our milk back on the heat, adding our flour and butter mixture, and we're going to mix that in. Best to use a whisk.
Yeah! You gotta whisk it for the biscuit.
So after a couple of minutes, all that is going to thicken up, and then that's when we're going to add in all the good stuff. Okay, so our bechamel is starting to thicken up now. This is prime time for our cheeses. Decimate this sauce with a lot of cheese. So we want to add in a bit of parmesan into that as well, and when I say a little bit, I mean quite a bit. And make sure you're always whisking it as well, because the high sugar content in the sauce, it's going to catch on the bottom of the pot very easily.
A bit of salt for deliciousness.
Alright, so don't be afraid to add in a bit of sugar to your dish. And when I say, it's a bit of sugar. It's just for a bit of sweetness, because you want your bechamel salty and your ragu, you want it quite sweet, just so it's a nice balance in between the two.
Okay, so we're ready. It's ready to go.
Ragu! Spread it everywhere. Bit of bechamel. Sheets of lasagna.
Oh, they're too big. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Alright, so we're just going to cut until we're done. I've pretty much assembled my lasagna without any help. So we're just going to add a bit more meat on top, and then the rest of the bechamel, and then we're going to throw all of our cheese, that's right, all of the cheese on top, and then smash bang into the oven. No! All of our cheese, because I don't want any wastage, and everyone
Likes cheese.
So literally at about 200 degrees, you're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes before that cheese on top, your pasta and everything is just perfectly cooked.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you when you're cooked. You gotta have your mitty mitts. It's time.
Oh, look at that. And there we have it. That's our lasagna. So while it's got a bit of residual heat, I forgot to add it into the ragu, but you just want to get your basil and your parsley just on top like that. Oh, cheesy goodness. Finished product. Sorry. Finished product. Our lasagna, molten mess of cheese and bechamel and beautiful sauces and flavors. Oh, very good.
Oh, is that a shot?
Personally, I think it needs a bit more. That's it. That's it. Fuck up my order.
Bye-bye, dog. Bye-bye.